This time around, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are the focus of intense online rumors that cast doubt on the paternity of their two children, Archie and Lilibet. Viral posters on social media sites have claimed that there is secret DNA information, implying that the children might not be Prince Harry's legitimate children. The claims quickly gained traction, garnering millions of views and igniting a heated discussion among royal observers, pundits, and the general people throughout the globe. The scandal started when anonymous online accounts and a number of high-engagement videos alleged that test results that had not been revealed had leaked behind the scenes. These circulating stories claim that anonymous sources alluded to disclosures that would have caused a crisis within the royal family. It was soon followed by dramatic headlines detailing emotional reactions, purported palace anxiety, and an increasing attempt to conceal important information from the public. The reports were supported by no official confirmations or confirmed papers, despite the forceful tone of these claims, leaving listeners torn between skepticism and belief. As the rumors spread, the conversation shifted from gossip to more general issues like privacy, openness, and the connection between the modern monarchy and public scrutiny. Critics claimed that the couple's highly secretive approach to family life had inadvertently created an atmosphere where unanswered questions might bloom, while supporters of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle dismissed the charges as unfounded rumors stoked by internet sensationalism. Curiosity was heightened by the royal representative's absence of direct response, which let rumors rule online discussions. The tale went from isolated posts to a worldwide talking topic in a matter of days. In order to find hints that could confirm or refute the claims, commentators examined previous interviews, public timetables, and the few official family appearances. While some authors presented the problem as an investigative mystery, others interpreted it as proof of the rising hostility between royal tradition and the Sussex household. The story quickly grew, influenced more by emotion and interpretation than by verified facts. The two kids, Archie and Lilibet, who have mostly avoided the public eye since birth, were at the core of the issue. Their upbringing has been characterized by rigorous privacy, meticulously curated photos, and seldom public updates, in contrast to earlier generations of royal children. Because of his own experiences growing up under constant public scrutiny, Prince Harry has made it clear time and time again that he wants to protect his kids from the heavy media attention. However, this protective stance has also added to the family's exceptional degree of mystery, which online groups have been trying more and more to fill with conjecture. Rumors about legitimacy and ancestry have always captivated the public's attention more than nearly any other royal topic, according to royal analysts watching the situation, because they directly affect the stability of organizations based on tradition and continuity. Problems regarding heirs and succession, whether warranted or not, have captivated people throughout history. But in the digital age, rumors like this spread instantaneously via channels meant to magnify dramatic narratives rather than gradually through tabloids or whispered discussions. The lack of formal recognition became a part of the story as it spread around the world. Known for its long-standing practice of not responding to unsubstantiated online reports, Buckingham Palace said nothing. This silence was interpreted by some onlookers as a sign of confidence that the rumors were untrue. For others, it increased mistrust and strengthened the idea that something important might be happening behind closed doors. The claim's viral dissemination, however, exposed more about contemporary information culture than the royal family itself, according to media specialists. Emotionally charged content is rewarded by algorithms, which incentivize producers to portray conjecture in ever more dramatic ways. Every additional video or post added layers of narrative, including anticipated repercussions, emotional responses, and purported insider information, turning an unsubstantiated claim into a worldwide discussion. The public's response swiftly became divided. Some viewers flatly denied the rumors, pointing out that there was no reliable proof. Others got engrossed in scrutinizing every detail because they believed that secrets may eventually come to light. The argument went well beyond royal fandom to address the ease with which narratives can acquire authority via mere repetition. A bigger question arose as the matter gained more attention. Why, in contrast to other royal news, do tales about the Sussex family elicit such strong reactions? According to analysts, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are in a unique position since they are both linked to and separate from royal tradition. Because of this dual identity, their lives are especially susceptible to conflicting narratives, with admirers and detractors viewing the same events from completely different angles. As of right now, the DNA claims are still a part of a continuing online controversy rather than a verified discovery. The allegations have not been supported by any court cases, confirmed investigations, or reliable reporting. However, the volume of attention generated by the story shows how rapidly conjecture can become perceived truth when it is magnified by audiences around the world that are waiting for shocking news. As debates continue, the subject remains one of the most talked about royal rumor cycles in recent years, not because of established facts, but rather because of the remarkable ability of contemporary media to turn ambiguity into global fascination. As the dispute grew more heated, focus turned from the rumor's source to the possible repercussions should the accusations turn out to be accurate. Online debates shifted from conjecture to speculative scenarios, with analysts discussing the potential ramifications of such a disclosure for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as individuals as well as the larger framework of the contemporary monarchy. As a reflection of how potent tales frequently change once they attract the attention of people all across the world, the discussion shifted from evidence to impact. Self-described royal insiders started interpreting what they said was increasing tension behind palace walls, in online discussion boards, and commentary channels. Despite the fact that none had concrete evidence, their claims were extensively disseminated, examined, and reiterated. According to others, senior royal advisors were keeping a close eye on the online storm because they were worried about the harm to their reputation that the charges' scope might do, not whether they were true. Others contended that in a time when popular narratives emerge independently of formal institutions, the monarchy's long-standing tactic of quiet might no longer be effective. The concept of a palace crisis swiftly emerged as a key element in the drama that was developing. Experts conjectured about secret legal consultations, emergency meetings, and strategic communication planning. The pictures of royal officials handling a possible scandal added another level of excitement, even if these reports were not backed up by any reliable information. Because there was no obvious reaction, viewers could fill in all the blanks with their imaginations. At the same time, Prince Harry himself became the subject of more and more conversations. His previous interviews, passages from his memoir, and public declarations regarding truth, family, and identity were all reviewed by analysts. Harry has continuously presented his life as a conflict between institutional expectations and personal authenticity, according to numerous onlookers. Rumor-driven stories that depicted emotional turmoil became popular in that setting because they fit a well-known public narrative. A prince trying to strike a balance between protecting his immediate family and being faithful to his heritage. Speculation also centered on Meghan Markle, whose public persona has historically been influenced by diametrically opposed viewpoints. She was portrayed as overwhelmed by the intensity of international scrutiny in viral posts that detailed her purported emotional reactions. However, similar to previous assertions, these depictions were not substantiated by any reliable reporting. The portrayal of a family under extreme strain was reinforced by the poignant stories, which nevertheless struck a chord with viewers used to dramatic royal storytelling. Commentators started delving into constitutional issues in addition to personal ones. The impact of ancestry on royal titles and succession, topics that have always sparked intense public interest, was the subject of hypothetical discussions. Any real challenge to royal ancestry, according to experts on television panels, would need official legal procedures and indisputable proof, not conjecture on the internet. However, dramatic interpretations that were making the rounds on social media frequently garnered more attention than these explanations. A deeper societal shift was exposed by the debate. People were no longer waiting for validation before becoming emotionally invested in a tale. Rather, speculative results turned into amusement in and of themselves. Videos depicting prospective royal reactions, pronouncements, and dramatic reconciliations or clashes were created by creators. Regardless of the story's factual foundation, each scenario brought in new viewers, increasing its audience. Supporters of the Sussex family, meanwhile, fiercely denied the rumors, characterizing them as damaging conspiracies that attack private children. Relentless rumors, according to advocacy voices, showed the darker side of celebrity society, where even children might become the focus of international discussion despite playing no public role. This pushback sparked a parallel discussion about digital media ethics, raising concerns about the appropriate level of commentary when discussing families and unsubstantiated accusations. Conventional journalists emphasized the lack of reliable evidence and mostly kept their distance from the accusations. However, by examining the reasons behind the rumor's widespread dissemination, even respectable journalism unintentionally added to the story's durability. Because emotionally charged content frequently spreads more widely than corrections or factual explanations. Media academics have pointed to algorithmic amplification. The dispute thus turned into a case study of the operation of contemporary information ecosystems. As the weeks went by, focus shifted from the Sussex home to the monarchy's overall future. Recurrent rumor cycles, according to some analysts, were a reflection of the public's waning faith in established institutions. Others used the reverse argument, arguing that interest in royal stories demonstrated the monarchy's cultural influence even during a time of cynicism. Regardless of its veracity, the DNA rumor demonstrated how ingrained royal tales are in popular culture around the world. The circumstance also highlighted how public silence is changing. In the past, restraint let disputes go away on their own. However, stillness might seem misleading in a digital environment that is driven by constant activity. Lack can be interpreted by audiences as vulnerability, avoidance, strategy, or dignity in the lack of authoritative clarification. Every interpretation keeps the conversation going, guaranteeing that the narrative is relevant long after the first assertions are made. The Sussex family did not directly acknowledge the rumors, instead continuing their daily routines and public projects behind the headlines. Their general communication strategy since quitting royal duties, selective appearances, controlled messaging, and an emphasis on business endeavors rather than personal controversy aligned with this refusal to participate. Whether deliberate or automatic, the tactic avoided direct confrontation and escalation, but it also permitted unresolved speculation. The story demonstrated a paradox of contemporary celebrity, according to observers. Audiences used to continuous access may become more curious the more people try to preserve their privacy. Although Prince Harry had very personal reasons for wanting to protect his kids from the media, the consequent lack of information inadvertently increased popular interest. A more distinct pattern became apparent when the internet storm steadied over time. The controversy had uncovered more about the psychology of collective storytelling than it had regarding secret royal secrets. Despite the lack of supporting facts, millions of people helped create a story that seemed authentic through common discourse, emotional commitment, and repetition. The story's enduring power illustrated how, as opposed to verification, community involvement may foster belief. Ultimately, the purported DNA disclosure stayed true to its original form, an unverified rumor making the rounds in the extensive digital media ecosystem. There were no formal investigations. There were no subsequent legal developments. The claims were not supported by any reliable sources. However, there was no denying the rumor cycle's influence. It changed the way people talked about media accountability, privacy, and the changing dynamic between public personalities and viewers around the world. The claims themselves may not have the most enduring impact, but rather what they disclose about the contemporary world. In the past, royal families used ritual and custom to dominate narratives. These days, stories develop naturally as a result of millions of voices speaking at once. Real-time speculation and truth compete, and stories are more powerful when they attract attention than when they are validated. In a world where rumors can suddenly become world events, and where it becomes harder for viewers to tell the difference between mystery and reality, the episode serves as a reminder that the monarchy's biggest threat may not come from institutional reform or political change, but rather from the unpredictable force of digital storytelling.